So, what are my overall impressions of full self-driving supervised? So look, there's been good and bad. So I'll just go through some of the bad. I had 3 interventions. Now the first one was on the very first day, and I've been driving with it now for 4 days, and I've done everywhere on FSD. I really have only driven a few hundred yards on my own just to give it a good turn. So the first one was on the first day. It got into the wrong lane on the freeway. It's got a left turn lane, and it was in the left turn lane and I needed to go straight on in the other 2 lanes. So I had to yank the steering and get over to the right lane. That wasn't a disastrous thing, but it was just a minor intervention. The next one was when I was turning left across a dual carriageway. Now that's opposite in Australia, so I'm turning left across a dual carriageway, so there's cars coming towards me in the other way. It stopped in the middle correctly and then hesitated a bit, and then I felt it really start to accelerate just as a car was getting too close. Whether that was just me or the car was not going or whatever, but I slammed on the brakes because I really didn't want to pull across in front of the oncoming traffic. So I then reset it and it waited for the traffic to clear and then went across. So that was possibly me just being a little bit nervous to start off with. And then really I didn't have too much in the way of interventions after that for the next few days. And then today I was on my way back to Kansas City, and there was 2 lanes and they split. And of course right in the middle is this big barrier that stops you getting yourself too badly injured. But it was actually going for the barrier, and I knew it needed to go down the left lane, and it was sort of in the right lane and it was hesitant, and I'm going, yeah, cripes. So I really yanked on the steering wheel and I missed the barrier, thank goodness. So I suppose that was a major intervention where it could have been a nasty result, because we were on a freeway and we were doing about 60 miles an hour. So yeah, that's 100 kilometers an hour. So that's not the best thing. But remember, this is 12.3.6. So all up, it's 12.5 now. But I was very happy with that. So a couple of other things. Sometimes it was a bit hesitant. You could feel it going like this, whoa, and then it would stop and jiggle, and it just felt a bit hesitant. Once today I did accelerate when I was turning right out of a junction onto a main highway, and it waited and waited. There were cars. Then there was a gap. There was a big truck coming, and it pulled out in front of the truck. Okay if it had put its foot down a bit, but it didn't, and this truck was pounding up behind me. So I whacked on the accelerator pedal, whether you'd count that as an intervention or not, but I got out the way by accelerating enough. So overall, that wasn't too bad. So the good. Look, overall, I was very impressed. As I've said, 12.3.6, it's now up to 12.5.1.1 or whatever. So apparently that's far, far better from what I've seen. But I was in a car park many times actually, and I typed in the address, hit play, and it drove out of the car park all on its own. One place I wasn't too sure how to get out of the car park, so I actually had to reverse out of the parking bay, hit it, and it found its way out. Thank you very much, car. So it would drive into car parks. I did navigate to a Tesla supercharger this morning, and it took me into the car park where the superchargers are. On the other side of the car park, there were some destination chargers. It stopped outside them. So I had to take over and drive all the way around the car park to get back to the superchargers where I duly plugged it in and charged it up. So in general, I felt very safe, and my wife was with me and she thought it was excellent. She also felt very safe. And the good thing about having this full self-driving supervised is you're actually quite relaxed. It's stress-free, although you've got to supervise it. And I said a couple of times it was a bit of, no. But you know, after 4 days of driving, I really only had one or two major interventions and a few very minor ones. So that wasn't too bad. Now, the other thing is it obeyed the road rules very, very well. It would come up to a stop sign and it would stop. Now, what I've noticed is the stop signs are a fair bit back from where the white line is. It would stop at the stop sign, then it would inch forwards to the white line, and if it couldn't see, it would just inch forwards a little bit until it could see, and then go when it was safe. So that was very good. And most of the time it did wait for other cars to clear. As I said, a couple of times it pulled out and I didn't really like it. I wouldn't have gone at that time, but then I am driving in a country who drive on the right side of the road, or shall we say the wrong side of the road, to what I'm used to. But overall, I really quite liked full self-driving supervised 12.3.6. I would have liked to have got 12.5, but the car I had was a long-range 7-seat Model Y, and it was a 2023 model. So I don't know, I mean, it had done nearly 30,000 miles, so that's 50,000 kilometres. I don't know whether it got hardware 4 or not. I don't think so. So it was only people with hardware 4 are currently getting FSD 12.5. So is FSD supervised worth the money? Yes, I would definitely pay for it in Australia if it comes there, or when it comes there. Now, I've already paid half because I've got enhanced autopilot, and the FSD would be another 5,000 Australian dollars. So yes, I would probably pay for it. I think it's certainly a very good piece of software. When we're going to get it in Australia, your guess is as good as mine. Just write your guess down in the comments below, please, and we'll see how accurate people are. I don't think we're going to get it until next year because we're already in August, so there's only 4.5, 5 months of the year left. I think Europe might get it first, and the right-hand drive markets, when you're sitting on the right side, so you're driving on the left side of the road, those markets, which is Britain and Australia, etc., will get it much later, I think. But what do you reckon? So, you make some comments down below, and while you're there, there's that like and subscribe button and the bell notification icon. If you could pretty please click on those. Thank you. It really does help the channel. And in the description below, there's other ways to support me. You could go to Ko-fi and buy me a Ko-fi, or do it on a monthly basis. That would be very much appreciated. Then there's a few other things there. I use Proton Mail, Proton VPN, Proton Drive. If you use my link below, I think you get a little bit off to start off with, and I will get eventually, when enough people do it, a little bit of a bonus. It's not a huge amount, it's only just a bit of credit on next year's subscription, but every little helps anyway. Now, they're not paying me to say that. They haven't even asked me to say that. I think Proton is very, very good. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, comment below, and I'll see you all very soon.